All right, welcome back to another one of our film reviews. Today we are breaking down Khalil Mack's historically dominant performance against the Las Vegas Raiders. Of course, he got his 6 sacks. We'll break down them all for you today, show the ins and outs behind a historically great day for Khalil Mack. As always, if you appreciate this content, give us a like, give us any feedback you may have in the comment section below. Or if there's another player you want us to break down, let us know as well. But without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, so we're going to open up here with Khalil Mack's first sack. This is actually a really good defensive design and execution from the Los Angeles Chargers. So you can see Khalil Mack out here. He's in what we call a wide 9 technique. A 5 technique would be on the outside shoulder of the tackle. A 7 technique would be where an outside shoulder, if there was a tight end right here, that would be where a 7 technique would be lined up. He's really wide outside of that, obviously, so we call that a wide 9. So right here, the Chargers are running a stunt with this blitzing linebacker right here, number 45. Again, you normally see stunts or games like this when it's with a defensive tackle and defensive end, but the Chargers do it with the linebacker, and it works out extremely well. So what they're going to do here is they're going to have this guy right here. He's lined up essentially as sort of a 5 technique. He's going to come in and kind of take up the right tackle. Khalil Mack's going to take one step and loop around. It ends up being a big sack for Mack. Let's check out what happens. All right, so you can see 45 right there. He's immediately trying to engage number 70 for the Las Vegas Raiders. Khalil Mack loops around. Let's go back to the very beginning. Again, watch Mack 1 step forward or 2, 3 steps forward, loops back around, buries the quarterback. I tell you what, this is really good execution. A lot of teams, when they do this, it's actually really hard to get this timed really correctly. So a lot of times what will happen, maybe the defensive end, he goes too deep and he can't loop around, or he goes too shallow and it gives the offensive lineman time to see it. You almost want to kind of hide behind. You see from the vantage point, number 70 for the Raiders can't even really see Khalil Mack because he's occupied with number 45 for the Chargers. Mack comes around untouched and gets the sack. Obviously, this is a great athletic play by Khalil Mack. A lot of explosiveness, a lot of speed here to come around here and make this play. This is really great design and a really great team effort here. All around, this is sort of a team sack for the Chargers, but Khalil Mack's the one who made the play here.
Yeah, Nick, and I love what Mac does here when he gets the sack. He almost kind of throws the guy on the ground. He doesn't bury him in. It's almost like, I'm gonna be here all night tonight. I'm gonna live in this backfield. So this first one's for free. I'll lay it down, go back to the line. We're gonna, have our day because Khalil Mack was all over. This was a true welcome to the NFL moment for O'Connell. He got his a taste of elite pass rushers and what they're capable of, and Mac, he is just showing he is still a dominant force this late into his NFL career, Nick. Isn't this guy just incredible?
He hasn't lost a step. That was kind of one of the concerns with some of the injuries and some of his lack of performance. This is elite level athleticism, right? On the outset, I said, normally guys like this will take 1 step and then work around, maybe 2. Khalil Mack is so fast, he can take 3 or 4 steps and then loop around, and he's not missing a beat, right? Everyone wants to talk about Micah Parsons and his athletic ability, and rightly so. But Khalil Mack is on the same level, and plays like this and days like this, like he had against the Raiders, are proof of that. All right, going the other direction now, there's Khalil Mack right there. On the defense is right, the offense is left, all right on the screen. The Chargers are lined up in a 3-4, really base 3-4 look. You can see, of course, the 3 down defensive linemen right there. 1, 2, 3, 2 inside linebackers right there. And then the 2 outside linebackers with 45 and Khalil Mack. Again, so this is a situation right here where it's just a one-on-one pass rush. Khalil Mack against the left tackle. We talk about his speed and athleticism right there. It's going to be a one-on-one matchup. But this is about power, strength, moving your feet. Let's see how Khalil dominates and gets another sack here. So right there, this is one of the things I really like to see out of pass rushers. You see how Khalil Mack actually got vertical and now he's turning into bull rush him. Sometimes these guys, what they do, and I'm going to go back to the very beginning, this is pretty technical. Sometimes these edge rushers, if they're inexperienced, they try and go straight to bull rush. You don't want to do that. You want to get these offensive linemen working backwards first. And once they've gone backwards and they're kind of on their heels a little bit, then you can turn into a bull rush. And that's exactly what happens. So right there, he drives him into his chest, drives him back into Aiden O'Connell, forces the fumble. Kind of a bad looking play for the Raiders quarterback there, but really this is Khalil Mack driving him into the back, hits his arm, it's a turnover. All right, for everyone watching at home, this is exactly how you want to do it, right? Get vertical, get into the tackle, drive him into the quarterback. There's a big temptation. I see it all the time from young pass rushers. They want to go right into the bull rush. They want to work right inside to drive this guy back. But this is a 300-plus pound dude who's really strong, right? You're going to lose that matchup a lot of the time unless you get him back on his heels. So he's back on his heels, and then he attacks and drive him right there. Look, there's no good base there if you're an offensive tackle. That's why you time the bull rush when you do there for a great pass rusher like Khalil Mack. and he drives him into O'Connell, and he forces a turnover. Outstanding play.
Yeah, Nick, and you alluded to it in the play before this one. People worried in year 10 with the injury concerns. Did Khalil Mack lose a step? Well, he's going up against a young guy, Colton Miller. He's not that young, but he's only about 6 years into his NFL career as opposed to Max 10. This dude's 6'8, 330. Like you said, this guy is huge. And Miller's athletic. He's very quick. Coming out of UCLA, ran a 4.95 for offensive lineman. Pretty quick. So this guy just getting absolutely dogged by Khalil Mack shows this guy hasn't lost a step at all, and he still has all the savvy timing and veteran moves. Like you were saying, he's able to time things perfectly, do things picture perfect, and absolutely bury this guy right into the quarterback, causing that fumble sack. I think this is the first of 2 forced fumbles he had on the day as well. Mack just absolutely obliterates Miller here. And this is just like you said, picture perfect, Nick. But how impressive is it that Mack, he's just able to go? We talk about this all the time. There are players who give you 10, 12 plays a game. Mack seems like he was going all out every single play this game, did he not?
Oh, he obviously played at a high motor, but look at it again. His technique is phenomenal. He's playing like a savvy vet, a year 10 guy. Look at his left hand, his inside hand right there. You see how he's got it inside, right in Colton Miller's chest, right there. That's where all your power is. And he's able to just get him walking because of that. You see right there, he is driving Colton Miller, and it just pushes through the inside of Miller. The placement of hands is huge in offensive defensive lineman battles just like this. And Khalil Mack wins it. Savvy play, gets his hand inside, drives him back, gets the sack. All right, Khalil Mack on the other side right now, moving him away from number 74, Colton Miller, who was obviously the left tackle over here, who Khalil Mack dominated on the previous play. He's matched up on the right tackle right here. This is a one-on-one rep, and it's not the cleanest beat as Khalil Mack showed on the couple other plays, the first few we showed, but this is all about effort and intensity from number 52. He makes the play just on sheer heart alone, and that's what I love to see from some of these pass rushers. Let's check out what happens. All right, so right here, he's basically blocked at this point, or it certainly looks that way, right? Number 72 for the Raiders does a pretty good job. Doesn't get beat on the inside move right away. And when Khalil Mack counters to the outside, he's got him in a good position, right? So at this point, if you're a pass rusher, your initial move and your counter move didn't work. You're not beat, but you're not in a great position right there. Offensive lineman has a good base. But look at Khalil Mack's effort and drive. He just keeps working, and then swipes the ball out. There's that second forced fumble you were talking about. Again, as a defensive lineman, as an edge pass rusher, you're not going to win every rep. Your first move won't always win. Your counter move won't always win. Right here, first move doesn't win, counter move doesn't win. Right here, you're basically blocked up, but you keep working, keep driving, and attack the football. This is what's been missing out of Khalil Mack sometimes for the Chargers, the production, making the play. He has the ability to make dynamic, explosive sacks. We saw in the first 2 clips. This has been missing at times, just staying with it, driving, making the play when you have a chance to make the play, and he absolutely does it here. I just love this, right? Eyes on the football. Look how he just jumps, extends. That's like a diving one-handed catch equivalent right there. This is giving up your body for the team right there. Forces the fumble. Outstanding rep for Khalil Mack.
Yeah, Nick, and you could probably relate to this. Illuminar, it seems like he does everything right in blocking Mack. He seems like he does a great job, but at Mack as the defender here, all he has to do is get his hand in there and smack the ball out of O'Connell's reach. This is a play by Mack. This shows, once again, savvy veteran move. He doesn't have to sack him. All he has to do is get that ball out, get that ball on the ground, allow someone to make a play on it. So he does what he can. This just isn't fair for a guy like Illuminar. He seems like he does everything right, Nick, but then he just gets beat, allows the sack, just get the ball swat out of your hands. That has to feel bad as an offensive lineman, don't you say?
Yeah, because you do everything right, but it's important to understand here is that this is a good schematic design by the Chargers. So if we go up to the very beginning here and watch how it all shakes out, you can see there right at this point, the 4 other pass rushers, and you had a blitzing safety, number 51 looped around. They're basically here to occupy the other 4 offensive linemen and Josh Jacobs picking up the blitzing safety, right there, number 31 for the Chargers. They're trying to isolate Khalil Mack one-on-one, and for good reason, right? Khalil Mack will win a lot of those matchups, but he doesn't win this matchup, right? So right there, he's basically blocked up. This is a chance for the Raiders to make a big play because right here, the Chargers schemed it up to get one-on-one with Khalil Mack, and he couldn't get it done on the outset, right? But this is what I love right here, that extra effort. You got blocked up, it doesn't matter, make the play. I tell you what, there are a lot of guys in professional football, and it's a true thing. You see it in pro football, you see it in college football. Right there, right, they basically kind of give up, right? They sort of stop or they kind of loop around or they keep running up the field and kind of get themselves out of position. Khalil Mack just keeps working, keeps grinding, and makes the big play. All right, sack number 4 for Khalil Mack, and there he is right there. Again, he's in that wide 9 technique. You can see how wide he is offset from the tackle here. This is a one-on-one matchup. This is a brutal matchup for number 72 for the Las Vegas Raiders. But I tell you what, we showed on the last play that the Raiders did a pretty good job blocking Khalil Mack, and Khalil Mack just found a way through effort and drive to get to the quarterback. This is what I call a better than you at life kind of rep. Let's check out how Khalil Mack does here. So straight speed off the edge and just beats him cleanly and gets the sack. It's just one of those things. This is a tough block, obviously, for any offensive lineman. Wide 9 technique, just straight, basically sprint. Can you beat him to the spot? Can you not make sure you give up the inside move? But it just doesn't matter. He just gets totally beat there. No chance for Aiden O'Connell for the Las Vegas Raiders. These are the plays that Khalil Mack has made his living his entire career. This is just straight athletic talent. Get to the quarterback. It's a foot race. I'm better than you at life right here. And he just is on this play, and he gets the sack. These are the plays that Khalil Mack has made a long time. This was the one concern after the injuries. Will he still have this athletic speed, this unbelievable game-breaking foot speed to turn the corner? I tell you what, Chargers fans, he still got it. Great rep from Khalil Mack.
Yeah, Nick, like you said, this is where the 4.6 comes out for Khalil Mack. This guy is quick. He is absolutely asininely athletic for a guy that's 6'3", 270 pounds. This guy's a game wrecker, a monster. And I think this is the year. This seems like the year. We always talk about the Chargers look good on paper. They have this guy, they have that guy, they have this guy. And I feel like it's coming together on the defensive side of the ball this year. You can see it in the pass rush by Mack. This is the guy they wanted when they traded for him. When you say, Nick, this is the guy they need to make the difference on their defense.
When he is on, he is unblockable. And even when he's blockable, he still finds a way to make the play. He's kind of been a forgotten man, right? With the Bosas and Micah Parsons and the TJ Watts of the world kind of jumping into the limelight as the best defenders in the NFL. But it's these kind of plays. I mean, look at this speed. Straight up the field, around the corner, no chance for that tackle, no chance for Aiden O'Connell. There is nothing you can do. We showed on the previous play, number 72 is not a bad pass blocker, but he just has no chance. Khalil Mack is just that good of an athlete. If he can bring this, like he did against the Raiders, to other games, this Chargers team, like you said, the pieces will come into place, and they're going to be really, really tough to go against offensively. All right, sack number 5 for Khalil Mack, and there he is right here. Again, really wide 9 technique. I love this scheme. Coach Staley, of course, has taken a lot of flack for some of his decisions, and rightly so, but I love how wide they split out Khalil Mack because he's such a great athlete. You want him to play in space. But this is just an outstanding sort of job from Khalil Mack in terms of understanding what the offense is doing, recognizing and reacting. So right now, Josh Jacobs, there he is right there for the Las Vegas Raiders. He made a lot of plays in the receiving game, frankly, in the running game as well. But in the receiving game, he caught 8 passes, gave Aiden O'Connell a lot of his best reps in terms of just dumping it off and letting Jacobs run. So right here, Khalil Mack, his initial responsibility is to check Jacobs in the receiving game, make sure he doesn't get a quick, easy outlet for O'Connell, and then work back in. So basically how this is going to work is if Jacobs releases this direction to the flat, Khalil Mack, instead of pass rushing, is going to counteract with him to take away that throw. And then once Jacobs works up the field and a deeper zone defender gets up to him, Khalil Mack can enter the pass rush. We talk about athleticism. We talk about speed from Khalil Mack. This may be his greatest play of the day. Let's check it out. So right there, you see Jacobs release. You see how Khalil Mack chases out? Because, again, Jacobs is killing him in the passing game. They want to eliminate the initial threat, so that way it gives time for these zone defenders to get out in space. Now, right here, Khalil Mack isn't even in the picture. He's not even remotely close. Now, credit to the Chargers for getting great pressure from other guys. Right here, Khalil Mack does his job, his initial job to eliminate Josh Jacobs. So here, Aiden O'Connell looking, can't go anywhere, tries to escape, and here comes Khalil Mack and buries him. This may be the coolest play I've seen in terms of just straight hustle, motor, and athleticism. Takes away the running back, and then just on a dead sprint, buries the quarterback. This is the things that Khalil Mack can do that no one else in football can because of his just overall experience and savvy. His ability to recognize that running back release, eliminate him, and then use his incredible athletic ability to get a big-time sack. These are the plays, right? There's a lot of guys that have high motors. There's a lot of guys that have a lot of speed, right? We've seen a lot of guys that I've mentioned some. There's names like Micah Parsons. The ability to do both, that's not seen in the NFL. And if Khalil Mack is at that again, that level of talent, watch out opposing offenses.
In the end, Nick, we're thinking, okay, Khalil Mack, 6 sacks on the day. Huge game from him. but it has to be because Joey Bosa is lined up on the other side of the ball, drawing all the other double teams. Everything is focused on Joey Bosa. This play, they're probably focused on Joey Bosa. Not so fast. Joey Bosa wasn't on the field all day today. He was out, and Khalil Mack still absolutely dominates. When they're both on the field, they're going to be a problem. But I just love that Khalil Mack can take this game into his hands, and Bosa wasn't even a factor today. Isn't that even more impressive for a big game like this, Nick?
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, the Raiders were probably trying to do whatever they could to game plan against Mac, and it didn't work out at all. Obviously, got 6 sacks. But again, I'm going to give some credit to Coach Staley, who, again, has been maligned in the media. But I love coaches that are able to know what the opposing side's rules are and figuring out ways to punish them for following those rules. So here's an example of this. Offensive linemen are taught, don't guard grass, find people. So right there, Colton Miller for the Raiders, he's like, okay, Khalil Mack went away. I'm going to block somebody else because Khalil Mack's not rushing. So you see there, checks Khalil Mack, works inside. That's his rules. That's good offensive line play from number 74. But this is a scheme from the Chargers that say, okay, once you take away the running back, come in after the quarterback. So this punishes the Raiders for following the right offensive line rules. I love schemes and design like that. Now, granted, you can only have a scheme and a design with an athlete like Khalil Mack making these plays. But I tell you what, Coach Staley getting a lot of flack, but he calls some really creative stuff on the defensive side of the ball. And if Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, when he comes back healthy, this defense is going to be tough. All right, sack number 6 for Khalil Mack. There he is once again at this wide 9 technique that I love that the Chargers put him in. They're going to give some help here. They're going to get a little chip from 45 before he releases into the flat. But it's going to be a one-on-one block right here between number 72 for the Las Vegas Raiders, the right tackle, and Khalil Mack. This is just an unbelievable athletic play. They basically have a chip on Khalil Mack. They have a pretty solid pass blocker on paper blocking Khalil Mack. And I don't think anybody actually touches him. Let's check out how this works out. So the chip right there, olays him, beats the guy to the outside, gets a sack. I'm not sure. Maybe number 72 gets a finger on him. Maybe, not quite. I don't know. It's really hard to tell me. I have to zoom in there. 2 guys were trying to block Khalil Mack, and none of them touched him. Folks, this is scary good. These are the things that could get the Chargers in the playoffs and make real noise in the playoffs. And I know right now the Chargers feel 2-2, not an ideal start. Still in the mix, of course. Injuries on offense are hurting them. But I tell you what, this right here, there's not a single offensive scheme in the world. I don't care if you're Andy Reid for the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't care if Bill Walsh comes back, the late, great Bill Walsh, and tries to come up with a scheme. If you put 2 guys on an edge defender, and that edge defender is so athletic, neither of those 2 guys even touch him, there's nothing you can do offensively. You're dead on arrival. Whether this is a rookie quarterback or whether this is Aaron Rodgers or whether this is Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, it doesn't matter. Offenses get eliminated. Right? When you talk about the great pass rushers, edge players in NFL history, the Lawrence Taylors, the Reggie Whites, guys like that, the Bruce Smiths, Derek Thomas, this is the impact they could have. And this is what the Chargers have been looking for, where it doesn't matter, even if you throw 2 guys on him, he's still making the sack quickly. Chargers fans, look, I'm telling you what, I know the injuries. I know Justin Herbert's injury concern, it seems to be not too bad, but I tell you what, it may not mean that much with Khalil Mack playing like this. You may win a lot of games defensive score-wise because of having a dominant edge rusher like Khalil Mack.